topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good afternoon, South Florida. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show, where for the last 16 years, we have brought you the top experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Hey, today we have got a fabulous show. And the reason why I say fabulous is I have learned from doing a neuropathy show across the country how painful it is, how people losing their balance, numbness, and we got the top doctor in all of South Florida. I don't care if you're in Dade County, if you're in Palm Beach County, or if you're in Broward County, you don't have to suffer anymore. Let me welcome Dr. Andrew Cherry. Good afternoon, Dr. Cherry.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me. Good afternoon to you and everybody.
Yeah, Dr. Cherry, you know what, before we started doing your show, I really didn't know what neuropathy is. And then I started reading these emails that we got. There are so many people that don't know what neuropathy is, but the worst part is they procrastinate and they just keep saying, well, I can, call the doctor up. I've got plenty of time. And what I'm hoping to get out of this show is, first of all, educating people what neuropathy is, but second of all, stop living with it.
Yeah. One of the first questions I ask patients when they're in the office for a consultation is, do you know what neuropathy means? And the first response they say is it's the numbness or tingling or burning or cramping or electric shock that I'm having in my hands or my feet. But it's actually, the definition is nerve damage or disease of the nerves. The symptoms that somebody has are those symptoms, but the damage is actually the damage to the nerves themselves. And it's we're talking about peripheral nerve damage, means that the ends of your body, your extremities, your toes, your foot, and up your leg, or your fingers, your hand, and up your arm. It's these very small hair-sized nerve endings that are actually damaged, that are causing all of your symptoms. And so neuropathy means nerve damage, and it is very serious.
Well, I want to ask you about your practice, but first of all, Dr. Cherry, you are a well-known, highly regarded chiropractor. What made you start looking into neuropathy?
That's a really good question. So I've been practicing for close to 34 years, and I see a variety of patients that have muscle pain, joint pain, nerve pain, etc. And for over 20 years, I tried to help people suffering with this peripheral neuropathy. And I found that actually with chiropractic care, massage, other elements of treatment that we do, nothing really helped people heal. They kept suffering with this pain, even after they visited their family doctor or neurologist or podiatrist, other medical specialists. And these doctors, all they would do was write prescriptions of drugs like gabapentin or pregabalin or Lyrica and Cymbalta, and it never addressed the real cause of the patient's complaints. And in short, I got a call from a friend of mine in another state who had figured out the real damage and the real treatment to this condition. And because I've been practicing for so many years already, I actually didn't believe what he was saying, that it actually helped people. So it took me quite a while, and visiting him and seeing how it works. And finally, I pulled the trigger and decided to really have to study some more and learn what is necessary to treat the damage to the nerves. And now we've got kind of the secret sauce and understand where the damage is coming from. And it's really coming from three different components that make up these hair-sized nerves. And one of the components is the very small blood vessels that wrap around these nerves to supply blood with oxygen and nutrients from the blood, so that the second component, which is the covering over the nerve called a myelin sheath, receives the nutrients and oxygen so that these cells that make up this sheath function normal. And the function of the covering, the myelin sheath, is to allow for normal electrical transmission of the impulses, sent from the brain. And if it's damaged, then that damages the third part, which are the nerve fibers underneath of this cover. That's when patients get crazy symptoms like the numbness, the tingling, the burning, the electric shock, the freezing, and the weakness, the balance problems. It all comes from these three components. And our treatment involves treating these actual components, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Well, I got to tell you, I literally received, I think, 5 letters since the last time we spoke. And there are people who went to their doctor, and their doctor prescribed this gabapentin. Is that how you pronounce it?
Gabapentin?
Yes. And they said it did not work for them. And then all of a sudden, I saw there's some downsides to this that they've discovered.
Sure. Yeah. Well, first of all, gabapentin is a drug that was designed for epilepsy and seizures, and it's designed to dampen the neuron signals in the brain. And even Lyrica, which is pregabalin, same thing. But unfortunately, in the medical world, they don't have a drug that's designed to help treat the damaged components to the nerves that I mentioned earlier. And that's why people do not get better. And of course, there's side effects that, with any drug, and the side effects of these drugs include lethargy, where people are left tired and fatigued, memory issues, dry mouth, vertigo, and so forth. There's plenty of them, none of which help anybody get better with this condition, unfortunately.
Well, I've heard that they've discovered some really bad side effects to that. I don't know if you heard that or not. I'm going to have to go find that article, but it was a very negative article. So I'm so glad you're doing what you do. You know what? Another question we get, Dr. Cherry, is people want to know, what other areas do you work with in chiropractic care, mainly in different types of pain?
Well, just to clear up the kind of work that I do as far as chiropractic care goes, most people in the population, even a lot of people that have even been to a chiropractor, don't really understand why they need a chiropractor. Most people experience pains in the neck and pains in the back and into the arms or legs, or sciatica, which is pain down the leg, numbness in their arms or hands, or even in their legs and feet, even other health problems. And really, ultimately, the real reason that people need a chiropractor in their life is because we're healthcare providers. We're trying to help the body put itself in the position to heal its own self. And because our nervous systems, which is our brain, our spinal cord, and nerves, control our whole body, if there's interference in the transmission of impulses from the brain to the body parts, because the spinal column is misaligned or is arthritic in nature, and many other issues, then that interference inhibits the ability for the nervous system to heal us. So removing interference from the control center initiates a natural healing process. And if you want to be healthy, then we have to implement some specific strategies with regards to taking care of ourselves, most of which everybody knows. We have to put the right stuff in our mouth. We have to have the proper diet. We have to drink water. We have to get exercise. We have to get enough rest every night. We have to have a healthy, functioning nervous system that is primary. And we have to be able to handle what stresses we have in our lives properly. These are the components to taking care of ourselves. This is the real health insurance, is you taking care of yourself and doing what it takes to be healthy. Healthy people don't need medicine. There's no medicine in health. Why take medicine if you're healthy? So even if you're not healthy and have a health problem, I tell people, listen, we have to go back to the basics. Look, no matter if it's, God forbid, cancer or some kind of disease, but now especially eat better, get more exercise, get enough rest, have a healthy nervous system, see your chiropractor, and try to do stress reduction activities. It always boils down to how you actually are implementing these strategies in the course of your life to keep you healthy and maintain your health and even restore your health when something happens to you. So that's the premise of what chiropractors do. That's my focus. And neuropathy is a very serious problem that robs your nervous system's ability to function normal and help improve your health. So the treatment that helps improve blood flow, improve cellular function with nutrition, and reinnervate or teach the nerves how to regenerate themselves is crucial in restoring your health overall, not just the symptoms that you're having from neuropathy. And that's what I teach patients.
Well, I got to tell you that, and let me tell you something, anytime from now on that I need a chiropractor, I'm going to Dr. Cherry. I totally believe in what you do. I got to tell you, my chiropractor that I had for about 5 years has actually kept me from having to have knee surgery, low back surgery. And gosh, if that's not a great selling point, I don't know what is, because I was told I needed the surgery.
Right. Yeah. Well, listen, medical specialists, especially the surgeons that perform, spinal surgeries, I mean, they're brilliant. And yes, I have referred patients to them, but the first things first, I mean, let's exhaust all efforts to prevent that situation, because any surgery is risky, especially spinal surgery. And so if we can do what it takes to help, restore any kind of normalcy to the problematic area that they're going to operate on, then let's exhaust those efforts first. If that fails, then and you're suffering, then we have to send you to the right specialist for that.
Here's a great question. This is from Martin in Davie. He said, so if I am experiencing numbness, a burning, or like electric shock pain, does that mean I probably have neuropathy?
Well, that's a good question. Those are some of the most common symptoms of neuropathy, but of course we'll have to do a proper history, see what's going on in your health, in your life, before we can say, yes, that is neuropathy. And then even after that, we recommend a very specific neuropathy sensory examination to determine if in fact it is neuropathy and the level of severity. It sounds like with the symptoms, yes, he has symptoms of neuropathy, but again, we have to explore and look into that a little bit more. And if he's in Davie, you need any help, my office is right in Cooper City, right off of Griffin Road, just east of Nob Hill, in the Regions Plaza at 9118 Griffin Road in Cooper City. So we look forward to seeing you soon.
You know what, Dr. Chair, I wanted to tell people that, even if they're in Palm Beach, because we also hit Stewart, or we even hit the Keys, that when it comes to neuropathy, I've learned there's not a lot of specialists that understand neuropathy the way you do. And this is something you do not want to prolong. And it is worth the trip to see Dr. Cherry. I can't tell you what happens, Dr. Cherry, if someone just lets it go.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, a lot of people get confused and see the wrong type of specialist. And over time, this condition progressively gets worse because we're aging and our nervous system is deteriorating. And there's a point at which it becomes permanent. And when I perform an exam and test patients as to what level of damage they have, we show them on a chart, the permanency area. And unfortunately, if somebody has permanent damage, which is about 85% damage or greater, it's extremely hard to treat and most likely irreversible. So like anything, when it comes to health, the sooner you seek the proper help and do treatment, the better results you'll get, and the more likely you can recover fully from it. So, we offer free consultations for everybody to come and talk about what's going on so we can determine if in fact it's neuropathy and educate people about things like we're talking about today, so they can actually, receive the treatment necessary to deal with this properly and help reverse it. It is reversible. And I do have to say that I can't tell you how many times I hear from patients that have been to the medical specialist that have been told there is no cure. You have to live with it. They are wrong. They just don't know how to treat it, quite honestly, is what I have to say. They just are not focusing on how to handle what it takes to help patients recover. And so please do not, if you're listening, any listeners, please, if you have this condition, to take advantage of my free consultation. You can call my office at the numbers listed on the screen here, or you can reach us at 754-227-9640. You can look Dr. Andrew Cherry up online. I am all over. You will be able to find us and schedule that free consultation and let us help you. And by the way, most of the treatment that is done from the comfort of your own home. We have patients that fly in from Jamaica, from the Bahamas, from Trinidad, Homestead. People drive up, the Key West. This is a serious condition. I want to help everybody that's suffering, because there are not many doctors, honestly, that do what we do in our office, that get the results we get. But there are a lot of doctors out there that say they do. You have to be very careful. You need to make sure you pick the right doctor with the right experience. And I'm here to help anybody who's serious about doing what it takes to help yourself get better. I hope I can see as many of you that are listening as possible to help you reach those goals.
Here's Barbara and Boynton. I'm really enjoying your show. Can you tell me that, is it worse at night or when I'm resting?
Yeah, Barbara, that is a common question and a common problem. And I find that a lot of patients do complain that, or mention that their symptoms are worse at night. And the rationale behind that is most likely it's because during the people's day, preoccupied with what they have to do in the course of their day, whether it's taking care of kids, their home, work, whatever it is. In the evening time, when you settle down and you don't have that preoccupation, you tend to notice that these symptoms are there at nighttime. And that's really what I attribute that increase in pain in the evening time to. It's very common and is an indicator of neuropathy as well.
Dr. Cherry, since I've started doing your show and you hear about a person, maybe an older person, stepped on the brake instead of the gas, or fell in the shower, I wonder, because I know it affects your balance. I note from you that there's numbness, and I think about, I wonder if those people had neuropathy.
Balance problems are associated with damage in the extremities. If your brain cannot register where your feet are located on the surface, you will develop coordination problems and balance issues. And it's something that is extremely common and is necessary to handle, because if you have balance problems, it could lead to a fall, which can lead to an injury, especially in someone a little older. That injury can be very serious and cause you to be incapacitated or wheelchair bound. And so it's something we take very seriously, and we work on helping people with balance problems to recover with some specific balance training in our office. It's actually part of the office protocol when you're close by and you can make it to that part of the treatment plan. Yeah, it's a very serious problem. Terrible, terrible. Even in the hands. People cannot use their hands and fingers properly for daily tasks. I mean, buttons, earrings, opening bottles, jars, just handling things, all the things we need our hands and fingers for. So please let me help you. Give us a call, shoot us a text at the office number, look us up online, and let us try to help you as quickly as we can. That's what we do this podcast for, to educate the public, teach them about how we can help them. There's some more information as well. The treatment that we recommend when we find we can help you, we have a super high success rate. I have to say it's either 95 to 97% successful for most everybody that I find that I can help. It takes commitment, it takes some patience, and it takes someone who's serious about making sure they do what we recommend so they actually can recover. And then you can recover. No matter what other medical specialists say, 75 to 80% of my practice helps people recover from this condition every single day. We've been doing it for years.
Here's a great question. This is from Shimon in Aventura. He wants to know, he said, I'm surprised I've never seen a show like this before. Can you help through telemedicine?
Well, of course, I mean, that's something we're considering presently. And mostly for people who don't have transportation, people who can't drive, people who aren't so close, can't find someone else to help them. We can help because mostly we understand what these symptoms are. We have to dig into your history, have a questionnaire for you to fill out. Certainly we would like to be able to perform an exam, but if this is something that you're serious about, you can't find anybody else to help, we can most likely help you through a virtual visit or through a Zoom or something along those lines. And we would have to discuss all the details about how to start treatment and what it involves. Mostly it involves specialized devices, specialized nutrition, and specialized home exercise plan. And pull the trigger. Otherwise, they're going to be stuck with the same condition.
Dr. Cherry, it just seems like there's more neuropathy now than ever before, or is that just because I'm just doing the shows?
No, Steve, I mean, listen, how I feel about that is this. I mean, look, if anybody watches television, they see us bombarded by commercials from the pharmaceutical industries. They're pushing medicines we never heard of. We're asked about Ubrelvy, whatever the drug is. And doctors are pushing these drugs. You know, the problem is it's medicine. Unfortunately, there's no medicine in health. We have to eat better, exercise better, get enough rest, have a healthy nervous system, and handle our stress. If you don't do that, you'll be reaching for medicine, and you'll eat your medicine as food instead of eating your food as medicine. You know, it's more prevalent. I mean, there's more cancer and diabetes now than ever. There's more heart disease than ever. I mean, why is that? Medicine is so advanced. Why is everybody getting sick? Why are children having diabetes? It's an educational problem that I think we're trying to fix. Even the government is diving into, make America healthy again. They're on to something. It's just going to take some time to reverse the damage that's been done over all these years.
And your show goes by so fast, Dr. Cherry. Let me get this question in. Does insurance cover any of this?
A great question. And I'm just going to put it right out there. Mostly no. Mostly they do not. They cover medical visits, medication, medical testing. But this does not take that kind of treatment in order for you to recover. So honestly, most insurance companies will not pay for what you need to do to treat the damage to the nerves to actually help you recover.
Here's another. I'm getting these off the chat line. When you move your knee in the morning and it feels like you are grinding broken glass, what could that mean?
Most likely you have arthritis in the knee or under the kneecap itself. And that is treatable. We just have to get to it before it gets too far gone.
Kim says, if you can barely move because you feel like your hips are separating, should you see a chiropractor?
Definitely, for sure. We can help any joint in the whole body. We just have to do an exam, figure out where it's coming from, and treat what's causing this problem. Do everything we can to exhaust all efforts before you undergo.
We got about a minute left. I got to get this one in. Jim wants to know what causes arthritis.
Well, there's 100 different types of arthritises. If we're talking about, joints, mostly it's because of abnormal wearing down. They deteriorate like tires on a car that get old. And you can prevent that or slow it down significantly by making sure you're taking care of yourself, the right exercise, the right nutrition, making sure the joints are aligned, you're strong, you have strength in the tissues that support those joints. But there's 100 different types of arthritis.
Dr. Cherry, I can't thank you enough. I mean, this is such an important show. Tell people now they can see how to reach you if they're watching on YouTube. But we've got a lot of people listening on iHeart and on W4CY. How do they reach your office?
My name is Dr. Andrew Cherry. Google it. That is the easiest way for most people to find me. Dr. Andrew Cherry in Cooper City, Florida. I'm all over the web. I have a YouTube channel. I have social media. Just search my name. You will be able to reach us easily. And I hope to be able to help as many of you as possible. And thank everybody for watching and listening. And you too, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, Dr. Cherry will be back again with us next month. Thank you, Dr. Cherry. Hey, that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back in with you next week with more Ask the Experts.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.